Hello to all the Form 4 students. Today we will discuss the example 12. Okay, open the textbook. Look at the example 12. This is application of the function in our daily life. Okay, so let's go through the question and read through before we discuss. Okay. So basically, when you see hot question, you have to read carefully. Let's read carefully. Okay, so the total production of Q goods per day by a factory depends on the number of workers. And okay, that means a Q actually is the production of goods per day, and then number of worker is n, and the function is modeled by, they give the function which is this one. This is a function that relate the production with number of workers. Okay, total revenue per day R is the revenue per day in ringgit Malaysia, received from the sale of Q goods is modeled by, there's another function for the revenue, and the revenue is actually depends on the production. So determine the total revenue. You're asking to determine the total revenue for the factory in one day if the number of worker is 20. So when you solve the Hodge question, basically you need to follow the step. We do it organizedly so that we won't panic. Alright, so we will use the first step, which is understanding the problem. So I call as U, understanding the problem. We start the U. Okay, so you're given two functions, right? Just now when you read, is function Q and function R, which define as Qn is 10n minus 1 over 4n squared, and you have another function which is actually the revenue. Alright, just now is the production and revenue respectively. So we jot down the function ready. Now find the total revenue of 20 days. This is actually what the question want is total revenues for 20 workers in one day. Okay, so when you read the question, you highlight as you read 20 workers in one day. It's not 20 days, it's 20 workers in one day. Alright, so that means you understand the question. Alright, so after you understand the question, so when you read, you jot down the important point to show you understand. Okay, then you plan the strategy P. The strategy is find the composite function of RQN, right? You have to find the RQN. So to determine the total revenue of factory, which represent by the function of n worker, which is Rn. So then you have to substitute the n equal to 20 into the composite function which obtained earlier, so to find the total revenue for the factory per day. Okay, so now let's see how to do. After you plan, you have to implement the strategy. Okay, implement the strategy meaning that you have to come up with the RQN is a composite function whereby you sub the Q into R. So this is a composite function. You multiply, you got 400n minus 40 times 1 over 4 is 10n squared. So this is the composite function of RQN. So after you got the composite function of RQN, so it means that you can substitute the n, right? N is actually the number of workers, which is 20. So if you substitute, you get the answer, which is 4,000, right? So now the daily revenue of the factory with 20 worker is 4,000. Okay, so now let's see, making a conclusion. C. Sometimes we say checking. So U is understanding, P is planning the strategy, all right, and then I is implementing, and finally you have to check. So let's say you already got the answer for 1,000, you substitute into the function just now, and you equal to 4,000, it become an equation. Then you factorize, the n is 20, so it shows that you are actually doing the right thing, because the daily revenue of the factory is 4,000 when the number of workers is 20. Okay, that is so called you solve the Hodge question, follow the 4 step, which is UPIC. All right, okay, so now you need to find one of the Hodge question and then try to present your answer. Okay, either you use you can use a mahjong paper, you can use a PowerPoint, or maybe you can just use a whiteboard, okay, to represent your answer for the Hodge question like this. So we have how many? We have three. 1, 2, 3. Right, we have okay, number 3, number 4, and then we have number 5 also. These three are actually Hodge question. So you need to plan how to do using the UPIC for these 3 questions. So I can actually ask you to present when you come back to the school later. Right, so the rest of you also you need to do. Actually, in fact, you have to do all this in the exercise book, for intensive practice. Okay, try to finish it. So this one also you can use a UPIC method. Number 6. Okay, and number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, I think I teach you already how to do, right? So you try to complete all the exercise before we discuss the next topic. All right, okay, so I think I actually explained to you what is UPIC. So I hope you can find one of the Hodge question and try to present your answer. All right, before we go to chapter 2, quadratic function, in the next lesson. All right, so that's all my sharing for today. Till then, I will see you maybe in next video teaching. Bye bye and have a nice day.